Hello, how are you? I'm good. What's going on? Yeah, sure. I've cracked the camera. Hope you're hydrated today, mate. It's a big session. No tapping out. Go. Good. First time. First look. Good. Nice. That's better. Matty, draw deep. Create some space. Good. Good. Great run, Joshy Battle. Mateus, well done. You played at GMHBA before? Yeah. Good.
New stadium.
You've been down there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Hawkins kicks plenty of goals down there. I can't see what you know. Moose, Moose.
Get ready.
Let him bring the ball to you a bit more. You're just a bit anxious. Just let him build it up and bring it to you. When you three get it right, I'll be able to stop it. When you get it right. They haven't got it right yet over here. We'll keep it going.
Any message for Kingy and Joel?
I'll get it right. Joey's become a genius since he's gone into the media.
Joey's become a genius since he's gone to Fox. Well, who said Ross was intense? Any more laid back and be on the ground? How relaxed was he?
How funny was that?
Oh, what a funny one. He'd won a coach role tonight. There's
a dumb session coming. Let's turn our attention to the Saints while we're on, Ross. The relaxed atmosphere. Joey, you know him best. We think intense. We think, pretty granular in terms of the way he goes about it. But is that the real Ross?
Oh, no, he's got that sense of humour. He's dry. I mean, everyone enjoys his company. Like, he is demanding of his players and the coaching staff, and he wants excellence. But that's because he knows that's what works to achieve success. They've got a great coaching group. It's not just Ross Lyon. When you think of Corey Enright and Robert Harvey and Brendan Goddard, Lenny Hayes, and these sorts of guys, they're doing a great job down there. But now the real stuff starts. Now they've got to let all that pre-season work and get some action going.
One thing he does demand, and that is excellence in running. And I know that the Saints boys have been on the track and absolutely smacked in terms of the running capacity that they want to output. We saw them firsthand in the pre-season, Joey, against North Melbourne, and they just looked like they were covering the ground sensationally. A smaller ground tonight, so that longer distance running and width running, where you're getting right to the boundary, is probably not so much prevalent, but the speed will be the interesting thing. How quick can the Saints be against a Geelong defence that likes to control the opposition's ball, come in slow and obviously impact in the air?
And Eddie, I want to go to you on this one. Danger took over the reins last year off Joel Selwood for captaincy. A lot of pressure, and they didn't perform last year. Is there a lot of pressure on him this year?
No, not really. I don't think. The person that Danger is and the leader that he is, he should have a big year this year. I mean, a lot of injuries last year with Geelong that really kept them from playing the way that they wanted to play, Joey. So I reckon it's a big year for him.
I think Dangerfield will have a big year. He's had the full pre-season, he's had a longer pre-season, and when he's fresh and fit, he very rarely plays poorly. Like, even the start of last year, he was enormous, and then he got banged up, and we never saw the best of Danger. The back end of the year, no, he starts in the centre bounce. He's still got to be their main man. He's still got to be their main man in the midfield, I think, this year. While they've got the youngsters, Bruin and Clark, coming along. And
Holmes to half-back, mate.
Maybe, yeah, and Atkins in there. I think Danger is still their number one man.
Jack, fresh out of it, how hard is it to play against that defence from Geelong?
It's a really interesting ground to play at, and it's a really interesting defence to play against. We used to kick the ball a little bit more corridor bias when we would kick it long down the line. Usually you kick it close to the boundary so you can take it out of bounds, but you need to create space on both sides of those contests. So it'll be interesting to see what the Saints do. I see St Kilda trying to move the ball quick here and get it in and create one-on-ones and not allow those sort of second ins, which Tom Stewart's fantastic at.
They got to stop Tom's influence tonight. They got to have to put someone in because he reads the ball pretty well. He's the number one intercept in competition, so they've got to stop his influence.
And that's going to be a challenge for the Saints. Their half-forwards love to help defend because that's what they do, so they'll get up to defend, but they've also got to get back to engage those Geelong half-backs because otherwise they'll intercept the ball and get their rebound going. So it's going to be a bit of a cat-and-mouse battle, but it's going to be won or lost in the midfield as always.
Started in the middle, Danger.
All right, Joey, while you got the floor, who are you tipping?
Oh, it's a toss of the coin. I'll go St Kilda, just with a bit of bias.
Eddie?
Cats.
Cats for me, just.
I'm going for a draw. First one of the
Sitting on the fence.
Yep, I'm a letterbox here at Fox. I'm just sitting on the fence, but it's an interesting watch. We can see that's a match-up. The runners.
Out on the wing, yep.
The steeplechaser and Hilly. So it's going to be a big game. Here it is. Both St Kilda and the Cats are going to kick off their season. Enjoy.
Stanley were underway. Filippo came crashing through. He was immediately held up in a strong tackle.
Looks like Atkins and Steele as well will go head-to-head in the midfield.
There is Bradley Hill. Tanner Bruin in game 50. To Max Holmes, who Chris Scott highlighted pre-game as being a big improver over the summer. Stengel picks it up, flicks it out. Chance coming up for Zach Tui to kick the first. Season 2024 is generally a great kick for goal. That one misses to the near side.
It's a nice start for the Cats out of the middle. Didn't waste their opportunity, went long early, created the opportunity to score.
Riley Bonner from Port Adelaide, delisted. Pre-season pickup, his first kick as a Saint, goes towards Mason Wood, strong in front of Blitzards. Low ball down the line. In the end, Kolodjasny get the free kick. Defensive side of the wing, Liam Henry, another new face for the Saints, was off and running. To Koning. Holmes, the unlucky member of that 22 Cats side, missed the grand final. Chance for Jack Henry, who Joel spoke about, 11 games only last year, gets involved, tackles Owens, clever enough to get the kick away, only as far as Max. And Holmes contemplates going defensively, pauses for the moment, gets called to play on, has to deal with Liam Henry, has the speed to go past him. Deep ball into the forward line, out the back Stanley. Almost. Ollie Henry puts the tackle on. Marshall going nowhere. Ball up, 25 out.
Thanks, Ron. Rowan, Tom.
Contest from Reece Stanley. That's exactly what his coach will want, making sure that mark wasn't taken by Marshall. Seb Ross to the running machine. Bradley Hill floats that one down the line. Owens outpointed. And he has started in fine style. Max Holmes, we know what a great athlete he is. He's finding plenty of the footy. Brian Myers, the goal assist world record holder from last year, trying to find Hawkins as he does so often. This is Riley Bonner, the former Port Adelaide halfback, and Max King's come all the way up to halfback. And look at Bradley Hill on the move as always. That kick has shown a lot of it to blitz halves. Able to get through the tackle. Stengel. Time for a bounce, and then he goes off the outside of the boot, saying Cordy in front of Tom Hawkins takes a nice defensive mark.
And St Kilda are just going to have to be patient. The ball is living in Geelong's forward half. They're just going to have to kick their way through this rather than those quick handball play-ons.
Typically brilliant pressure from Atkins. Stop the mark and then put the pressure on, out of bounds on the full. Kolodjasny brings it back into play, into the pocket. Henry, chance, Hawkins perhaps. Would have been something very special.
Not unexpected though, but we've got every player in the front half of Geelong's ground here. Ross Lyon coach side, we'll expect to see that plenty of the night.
There's a great look at what Joel Selwood's just pointed out. Really push up and try and work your way through it now. To Koning athletically. This is Liam Henry, whose first outing as a Saint, coming across from the Fremantle Dockers. I love his speed and run in the way they want to play.
And that is a big part of why they do push those numbers back to us, to get those runners that they've got. Liam Henry, you talk of, Brad Hill, that they'll keep coming all night, those guys.
Has been camped in the forward half of the ground early for Geelong. Marshall and Stanley trying to crash through Jai Clark. Second game of his. Dangerfield. Cats have had a mountain of early possession. Hawkins, how many times have you seen the Hawk go back with strength? And he's not happy. Got through his hands and out of bounds.
Well, he did all the hard work. He kept the space, and both St Kilda defenders crashed into each other. Just couldn't finish off with the mark. We see that time in forward half, 83% to Geelong at the start of this game.
Cameron got moving out the back. Filippo ended up with the football. Steele quickly to Marshall, intercepted. Tanner Bruin runs into a bit of trouble. Steele put the tackle on from behind. Wilkie became a brick wall.
He's got to absorb this pressure, the St Kilda back line.
Umpire Stevic throws it up. Hawkins slaps it forward. Brad Hill couldn't get clear of Tui.
Thanks, guys. Time. Here it is.
Pretty lonely down the Saints' forward end of the ground. Hawkins with soft hands, just got a little bricky. Then Brian Myers gave it off. Clark involved in all of that. Deep ball off hands. Still a little chance here. Close. Runs out of room over the top. Henry now blitz halves. Close almost got back involved again. Cordy does enough without giving away a free kick in the back of blitz halves.
Thank you, Mark. Roll.
was very St Kilda-like, where they started slowly, but the scoreboard never gets out of control. Only conceded the one behind, and now they're working their way through. Brilliant defensive tackle, almost could have been rewarded. Marshall, not sure, disposed of it correctly. Break close was a bit unlucky. Here's Higgins, and now he spirals one. The race is on from Membry. Stanley's a good athlete. Membry turns him inside out. Open goal square. Can the Saints kick the first? Right against the flow of play. Well done, Tim Membry. A shake of the head for Chris Scott. Had all the footy. And they cleared a path, and that is a great sight to see Tim Membry kick the first goal of season 2024. The Saints fans at home will be enjoying every bit of that.
Well, this is it. The rundown tackle wasn't paid, but then just have a look. Geelong fans unhappy about it. We just rolled first inside 50 for the night, and conversion, just the efficiency that St Kilda would be wanting.
We just were talking about that slingshot just before, Joe, but amazing how quickly they can break through.
Nice to see Tim Membry back in the Saints jumper and smiling. First goal goes his way. Long bomb. Bruin. In the end, lost the football. Saints gathered it. Crouch off a step, goes long. Neatly taken by Guthrie, who's such a revelation last year. Didn't miss a game. Towards half forward. Waiting for it. Stocker wedged between a few is Cameron. Stocker on the up, almost stolen by Stengel. Cameron has a crack at it. Ross rides him hard. Henry tries to work through traffic. Cameron had it, lost it. Guthrie goes at it. Into the hands of Kolajasny to Stewart, who feeds it wide to Koenig. Now to Holmes, sells Ross into trouble, gets in trouble himself, but gets out of it. Ricochets towards de Koenig, over towards half forward. O'Connor, not quite. Frontal contact with call.
Yes,
back it comes to O'Connor.
You made front on contact. Stand there.
Heard the chat. Brad Hill doesn't agree. O'Connor, Joel, has the range or not quite?
I like that it's early in the quarter, Haim.
Okay.
A good strong runner, strong legs. I reckon he's got the distance.
Hits it well. Hits it inaccurately.
Just quickly down at ground level, Tanner Bruin's just heading down to the Geelong rooms. Just perhaps a little knock to the head, so the medical staff there just checking that out. That was that big contest in the middle of the ground. He's headed down inside the Geelong rooms. Once we know more, we'll get back to you.
Thanks, Lee, for that update as Max King clunks. Nice contested mark over the top of Jack Henry. Now looking for Cooper Sharman, but Tom Stewart, how solid and reliable and brilliant has he been?
They're just going to need to get that ball to ground if you're a St Kilda forward. You can't allow Stewart just to roll back and take an intercept mark like that.
Max Holmes coming up for disposal number 6. Koenig releases it to Myers. That trademark kick round the body, it's so effective. And Mark O'Connor, first 2 scores going to the Irishman, Tui and Mark O'Connor. Big day for the Irish boys. St Patrick's Day tomorrow. Let's go back, Joel, and have a look at Tanner Bruin. It's his 50th game. Yeah, talented young player.
Right in the middle of the ground it was, and they'll take him down, have a look at him in the tackle. Doesn't look much in it. Maybe that knee at the end by Steele. Not much in it, to be honest, but poor Tanner's the worst for wear.
Not much in it by Selwood standards, Haim, I think.
Grind Myers, little give. Worked out okay for Atkins. I'm not sure that was intended, but they have a relationship that worked pretty well there. Tui got rid of the ball just in time. Windhager sees it knocked on. Owens, Henry, speed from Burns. Through he goes, the middle of the ground. Couple of options. King, happy just to carry it 10 or so, then give it off over the top. Memory, almost. Stewart mops up. He might have got taken a little high then. No one's fault, perhaps, other than his own. Went back down to ground, but up quickly. Good to see.
Max King was great through the middle. A short lead. And it was great use to Tim Membry, a bit unlucky not to be called a mark.
Had it for a long time. Holmes has 3 Saints to deal with.
If you're going to play that slingshot way, then you're going to have to lower your eyes, aren't you, Joel? Because you're going to be outnumbered when you go forward like that with St Kilda was. So really clever from their forwards there to connect with each other.
Just got a little look at Sean Manor, the 26-year-old debutant starting sub. He's having a look at the screen. That's a great attempt from Riley Bonner. We know he's got a big left foot, and it just nicked the inside part of the left-hand goalpost, and the Saints get back out to a 5-point lead.
Kolajazzi towards Tui, stands up in front of Mason Wood.
Play on.
Happy to go low, front spot. Cal Wilkie, who continues to play games without miss. 110 tonight since debut.
Rowan, Mark.
Feels like he's the captain of the back line too, Haim. He's been there consistently for a long time, but sets him up so well. Goes to the hardest matchup, Jeremy Cameron.
Always giving instructions, as you say, Joel. Here's a chance for Clark. Tough for him to get any move out of that pack.
Just have a look at this stoppage. Geelong playing with a spare behind the ball. St Kilda, Liam Henry, he's the extra number at the ball. They'll work it out by hand if they can.
St Kilda, advantage.
Mason Wood feeds it down the line. Steele, just the 10.
Stand, Jake. Stand.
15, umpire said.
Play on.
One length of cut grass. It goes towards Henry now. Henry
Stand.
in front of Duncan. And Liam Henry puts it over the top. Almost perfect for Mitch Owens. Little chance for Jack Henry to mop up and combine with Atkins. Does well. And the low, ugly sort of a ball will bounce. No, out of bounds. Dempsey will be unhappy. Erin Down, what have you noticed about the Saints?
Leg speed, Hayne. They are absolutely quick this season, and especially when they have all their, defenders pushed up forward. Their slingshot and their ability to run back into their forward is just absolutely quick.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. It's a noticeable part of their style, isn't it? They've recruited that way, and just saw Wanganeen-Milera advance that one, a free kick. Max Kings tried to take it out of the arms of the debutant, Darcy Wilson, their first pick in the draft, and congratulations to this young man. Speaking of elite runners and great athletes, he sends it in the Membry direction, fisted away. There's a live ball down there. Still went to the voice, tried to hack it back. Jai Clark was courageous, the youngster, as Tom Hawkins plants his big frame in a great spot, and now he's got Ollie Dempsey, who broke free. If he can get out the back, he had Henry. It was a bit of an up and under job. Is that going to be a free kick for a block? The non-controlling umpires paid it. Joe Watson, what do you make of that?
Well, it was a terrific effort by Josh Battle, who came off his man to force the high kick, and then if we just go back and have a look at it, Wanganeen-Milera is looking for it. You can see that he was searching for it with his eyes. I would have let it go if it was me.
That's a big decision that favours Ollie Henry. He was 33-11 last year from set shots, kicked 41 goals. It was really solid for the Cats, but he steered that one through for another behind.
Back to metre.
Wanganeen-Milera's kick pinpoint finds Mason Wood. Didn't get rushed, waited for the right option. Now Philippo.
Stand.
To Wilkie. Now Cordy controls the football. Little loop over the top to a man with plenty of speed. Just the 15, no the call. Wanganeen-Milera round the corner, had to be good, was to stock. I thought about the handball. King is the deepest for the Saints. Finished last year in good form. 14 in the last 4. Wanganeen-Milera.
The Saints are doing a good job here to build it up. They've showed us the other side of their game where they can slingshot it. Here they build it up to halfway, send it in.
Windhager in the number 2 this season. Atkins. Now to Kolajazzi with speed, runs off half-back, doesn't quite get to Dempsey as he would have liked. Needs to mop up and clean up and does to Tui. Tui over the top finds Jack Henry. Down to the man who's runner-up in the best and fairest. Short to Zach Guthrie. Towards half-forward, 3 Cats. Couple of Saints. They had the outnumber. O'Connor over the top. Looks for close in those familiar long sleeves. Marks in front of Wilkie.
Yeah, please. Brad, round. Yeah, go through, Matt. Stand.
Lead of Dangerfield ignored. Now to the top of the square. Pops it up. Hawkins, Henry, Blitzarves, Cameron. Little chance for the Hawk. Not quite Cordy. Windhager was the option. Now Burns. Wide was Wilkie. To the wing at Sales. Flying was De Koning. Mopping up. Or trying at least O'Connor. Beaten to it. King. A long way from home. Filippo now. Heard the call from Hill. Stops, retreats, and now deep towards half forward. Couple of Saints are there. Little chance for Wilson out the back. Higgins, King towards Higgins. Little chance for Sharman. Back to Higgins from 45, 50. Might just go the whole way. Falls short. Kicked it from right on the 50. Pitched. Needed 10 metres of run.
We talked about it a few times, but St Kilda are really evident that when they're playing this slingshot style of football, they're doing really well at using their numbers around the ball. They're not just bombing to an outnumber. If they don't feel like they see anyone free up further up the field, they're more than happy just to use the ball around by hand and run as a wave, and really evident that they're backing in their running power.
As a result, the Cats now having to be a bit patient. We're doing a lot of chasing. Dangerfield doesn't know the word patient. He's happy to press the trigger and go as Ollie Henry's got it. Ollie Dempsey next in line, and he's been able to work really hard, Ollie Dempsey, to find a bit of space. He's a great story. Joel Selwood played basketball for 5 or 6 years, was eyeing off college opportunities. A Stephen Wells gem, isn't he? He didn't play for a long period of time, but he's getting better and better.
He is, yeah, and got lots of tricks too. As you said, Dust, come in quite raw to the game. We drafted him. Sorry, the Cats drafted him. How am I going?
when you've got your own stand,
to everyone at home.
It's we.
New to this game, but he's going to be a great young player.
Real competitor. You just saw his work rate on display there. Ollie Dempsey, good-looking strike. He's going to kick the first goal of the year for the Cats. Ollie Dempsey, you're going to hear more about that young man. Got to see a bit of him as a 8-year-old, Ollie Dempsey, playing in the under-9s, and even at that age you could see something special, and I'm not surprised that he's found his way into round 1, and it's a great bit of recruiting.
Stephen Wells has got a mate now in Andrew Mackie, but Stephen Wells has been recruiting outside the box for a long time.
Yeah, this ground can catch you out. Dangerfield taking the opportunity to bring it back through the middle. Now, it's a risky kick, but with risk there's a reward. And on the end of it, Ollie Dempsey gets his chance. As you said, he's a prodigy that's going to be around for a long time. We'll see him take Mark of the Year at some stage.
Still just 21. Game 8. First of the night, third of his career. Little chance for Myers with speed. Ball bounces favourably, then he floats it towards Dempsey. Big fly, almost dragged it in with the right arm. Hawkins slaps it back. It was well over. We had a Zoom call with Chris Scott a couple of weeks ago. We said, give us a name or two to get excited about. And Ollie Dempsey was out before it even finished the sentence. So plenty of excitement with the youngster. Steele has his handball impeded. Mason Wood cleans up. Riley Bonner spirals towards the outer side. It skips over. Quickly moving it back into the hands of Duncan. The Cats will press forward again. Lead by 1.
Through to Tom Stewart. 5-time All-Australian before he's played 150 games, Tom Stewart. Incredible impact. Here's Jeremy Cameron. Just pulled that kick late, and his idea was to find Dangerfield, but credit to Cordy. He read it better than anyone else. Now Bonner. He has got a beautiful kick. Found Cooper Sharman, who's pushed up the half-back.
This is where we'll see the Saints just build it up, wait till their numbers catch up, take it into the forward line on their terms.
We so often see opposition teams kick the ball out of bounds on the full here, Joe. We talk a lot about the grounders. Just have a little look at Tanner Bruin there, who's going through a fitness test with his left ankle, we understand, Joe, but we know this ground's different for opposition teams, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see that they really get caught out with their ball movement, and the lack of width is what troubles most sides down here.
In the end, Guthrie did brilliantly. On the up to Tom Stewart. Turnover. Marshall standing in the right spot. Steele.
Stand. Play on. Play on. You.
Little chance for King. Comes in from the side. Bouncing ball for O'Connor. Goes back at it. Ross puts him in a tackle and rolls him fairly. Word filtering through from the Saints is we'd be keen to get best on ground tonight, Ross. One of the twins put something through the TV screen during the week. That was the TV one for best on ground on Saturday Night Football by all reports.
Nothing like childhood feedback.
Yeah.
Push in the back. St Kilda. Advantage.
Ross happy to take the advantage. Terrific to King. At 15 in from the boundary line, favouring the right boot.
I've stopped. They didn't.
That will help his chances if he can keep delivering it like that into the forward line.
Stand there.
Finished the last month of last year in a flurry, 2-1, 6-1, 3-3, managed then 3-1 in the final against the Giants. Good shot of what is before him. He's going to squeeze. No, this is to the left. 1-3 apiece.
Runs his full measure. Tom Stewart heads out to Dangerfield. Exceptionally good overhead for a midfielder, and still got speed to burn. There's Paddy. He's going to work at 1-2 with Jeremy Cameron. Then might have just overplayed it out of bounds on the outer side here at GMHBA Stadium. Look at Tanner Bruin, who's gone through the fitness test, and not a body language expert, but he's got the look of someone that thinks they may be about to go back out on the ground. Let's hope for Tanner that's the case. Look at Paddy's speed. Still, he's able to run away from his direct opponent, Filippo, but put that one out of bounds on the full.
Outside 5. Outside 5.
And this is the debutant.
Play on.
Sean Manor, 26 years of age, kicked 6 goals from 28 disposals in the VFL Grand Final last year. It'll be super exciting to see him debut for the Cats, out of bounds again.
It's great to see those players of that age get the opportunity now. I think it was James Podsiadly that nearly started the flow-on effect, but you're never being stopped. You're never getting not looked at any level these days. We're trying to find players everywhere.
Podsiadly, blitz halves was left field. Mumford at the time. Stewart, Atkins, close. Tim Kelly got picked up at 23. They've got a great way of finding good players with a bit of age. No disrespect to the Pods who'll be watching on. Liam Henry goes short towards King, ends up with a football. Not a set play, but it might just work out. Owens steps to the left, gives it to Bonner, floats it over the top. Now a chance for Higgins.
Beautiful use of numbers again. We talked about using their numbers up, Joe, coming down the ground, but they waited for him. Jack Higgins gets on the end. They actually had a handball to Liam Henry on the outside too.
It's hard to do, Joel, isn't it? Because you've got the adrenaline. You want to go quick when you're out in space, but sometimes you need that poise to just find the right kick and wait for your teammates to come down with you.
Nick Caulfield left the number 1 behind. Jack Higgins moved into it. Can't kick his first for the year, but the Saints lead by that minor score.
Holmes again favouring this outer side from the fullback kick in. Launch from behind. Stanley got over the top of Marshall, but it's going to ricochet back. Burns. Seb Ross floats it. They've got a bit of an outnumber here, St Kilda. If they can get the hands of Sharman. Fighting hard is Higgins. Henry. Holmes again won a good 50-50, and the Cats going to find a way out via De Koning. There's Ollie Dempsey happy to concede a boundary throwing.
Here we go. Let's see if the Saints can trap it down in their forward line for a part of the game.
Pushed all their numbers up. Riley Bonner's first game as a Saint. He started well this first term, and they do get it forward again off the boot of Crouch. Henry, he's going to work it through. Ed Higgins running shotgun, but
see the intent from St Kilda is to come forward out of the stoppage, not try and feed back. They want to get the ball moving forward, immediately put the opposition on the back foot.
Marshall looks about. Reece Stanley flies. Liam Henry, a bit of speed, took it. Now a chance for Wilson. He's kicked it just a little bit too far towards the big screen. First score in his AFL career. We hope it's a long one.
It's been noticeable, his impact already, Liam Henry. He's up to 8 disposals, but just the way in which he's getting the ball, he's getting out of the stoppage, getting the ball forward and quickly.
Brilliantly done from Jack Henry, and now they've got a chance on the outside close. Bradley Hill worked hard to apply some pressure. Blitzarves, Wilkie. What a player Cal Wilkie has been for St Kilda. Debuted in round 1 2019, hasn't missed a game since 110 straight, and an All-Australian last year. Beautiful sunset over GMHBA Stadium tonight. Perfect conditions. Wanganeen-Milera has kept that in, and Ross sits underneath it. Clever attempt with the body used to take the mark to Koning, shovels it out, and has earned a free kick, lands in the lap of Jai Clark, and not his best kick. Wanganeen-Milera accepts it with ease.
Wanganeen-Milera over the top. Well done in the end. Zach Guthrie had a few to beat. The kick not as he would have liked.
So good at coming off their men, the Geelong defenders. That Guthrie didn't work out for him then, but they're just prepared to read the ball and the flight of the ball in the air and back their own judgment to impact the contest.
Windhager, Bonner, Ross. Big collision. Jai Clark brave with Henry. Blitzarves goes and fetches the loose ball. Windhager puts on the tackle. Cameron with a bit of dash. Moves past a few. Lowers the eyes. Ball should sit for close. Handballs to the runner. It's Cameron. He continued on. Cameron kicks. And Cameron goes. And nothing much changes. Well, Jeremy Cameron, another year, another piece of brilliance. The Selwood stand end gets some excitement in the first term. The Cats get their second.
Fantastic contest from Clark there. Just caused the spoil, put his body on the line, which created the turnover and the opportunity. And then we watched the brilliance, and we talked about Cameron and what he can do. That running ability to get up the ground and then come back. And how's the finish from the boundary line? Left foot outside. One of the more difficult kicks in footy, and joins in with the crowd in the stands. Great way to finish off the first quarter.
Straight up.
And Lee, can I ask you about Jai Clark? How hard at the contest that young man is in his second game?
Yeah, hard as nails. The club have wrapped with it. He's attacking the footy. You saw it there. Liam Henry's actually sore from that contest. He's headed to the bench and just in the hands of the Dogs. But great way to win the respect of your teammates.
Yeah, there is the story Ling alluded to as well. Liam Henry on the receiving end of that. Really hard knock. Quarter time here. Saturday night footy. The Cats have just got their nose in front. 4-point lead. We'll be back for the second term right after the break. Saturday night footy.
You do take that kick, there's the majority of them are going to hit, because if you do miss those sort of kicks, they are going into very risky areas in that centre part of the ground. If they miss, you will get burnt back the other way and the opposition will score.
And we just saw some shots of Paddy Dangerfield. We were wondering how he was going to start. 9 disposals in the first quarter, and your man Riley Bonner also 9, heading that with the Saints. And Tom Hawkins has done plenty of work down there, and Jeremy Cameron kicking that goal right on quarter time to give Geelong a 4-point lead. So we've seen them. They've sized each other up. What's going to happen in the second quarter? Well, let's cast our eyes to the bounce of the ball.
Lance Collard will have to wait a little longer. So too Sean Manor for their AFL debut, second term underway. Bruin in the contest early. So too Liam Henry. Into the throat perhaps of Atkins. Advantage taken. Bruin over the top he goes. Dempsey sidestep, clean, tidy kick. It's wanted by Close, and he's found his man.
Beautifully weighted kick there by Dempsey, just over the St Kilda defender, and the poise and the importance of being able to hit a target going inside your forward 50 here. Just weighted it lovely over the top of Wanganeen-Milera.
Go back 3 metres.
To borrow a line.
Back 3 metres.
Centimetre perfect.
Yep. 7, 6.
Needed the height. Just got there into the hands of Close for his first of the year. And the Cats third of the night. And the margin is 10. Small glimpses of number 28, Joe, but the movement of Ollie Dempsey is impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see the athleticism and the explosiveness, and the more footy he plays, the more impressive he will become.
The 6-6 and 6 rule, it definitely allows open space like this in the forward line, and the Cats made full advantage of it there. Brad Close, very good shot on goal. I'd like to get in his hands a lot more.
Bounce will be recalled. We're just having a look at the Geelong record here under Chris Scott's reign. 100 games, Cats have won 84 of them at this stadium. Shows you how hard a task it is to come down here and beat this great side over the journey. Henry put his body on the line again. He'll hold over, and Tanner Bruin's moving well too, so good signs for him and the Cats. Dangerfield explodes away from the contest. Hawkins, so hard to tackle. He comes back in board, and what a clever kick to Jeremy Cameron. And the combination we showed pre-game, in the 3 years they've been together, they've combined for more than 100 goals in each of those 3 seasons. They work beautifully together, Joel.
Yeah, it's one of those things. When you worry about when there's such a great player and Jeremy comes to the club, who's going to be Batman, who's going to be Robin? Well, they just got along so well since the word go, and creating plenty of opportunities for each other.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful set shot kick. It was well struck. He almost kicked it too well. It stayed straight and didn't get the draw that he was hoping for.
Wanganeen-Milera caught in 2 or 3 minds in the end. Gets it back via hands from Wilking, goes to Mason Wood, who's got a runner with a bit of speed. Bonner had a big first term, 9 disposals. Brilliantly done by Holmes. Liam Henry was all set up. Holmes got involved, and then ducks back and gets involved in a tackle with Dempsey.
Only 14 tackles to the Cats so far. They would want to lift that grade up.
Rowan, Reese.
Hard to believe how this stadium has progressed over the last 20 years or so.
Rowan, Reese, Tom. Rowan, Reese.
Used to come and there was no hot water in the home showers, let alone the away team. Sometimes no water at all, but now an absolute showpiece. The community loves it. Hard place to win a football game at. Saints trail by 11. Forward through the boot of steel. Colin Jazzy tries to trap it initially and then take it out of the air. Henry's been so impressive early. Just gets the kick away, but as you praise the youngster, he kicks it out of bounds on the foot.
On the line. It was good pressure by Colin Jazzy. He just took the space away. He knew he had Henry, who was more fleet of foot than he was, but he just used the boundary line to his advantage and forced the error there.
Feel like the Cats have dialed up their pressure game early stages. The second term, Reece Stanley with a nice mark. And look at them explode away from that opportunity. Close athletically. Wanganeen-Milera did well, and then he was able to upend Ollie Dempsey. Look at the pressure coming from everywhere. Brilliant tackle again. Clark has maybe just overdone it slightly. It'll be a free kick to Jack Steele.
Just jump around for me, Jack.
Well, Joel, you talked about their tackle count, Geelong wanting to up their ante. Feels like the intensity around the ball has just stepped up from this Geelong side.
Happy to get the foot it seems regularly to Riley Bonner and take advantage of that classy left foot. A heavy knock there initially for Crouch. He's picked himself up, which is good, as Membry went back, and a courageous effort. And what about the athleticism of Jeremy Cameron doing it at both ends?
The athleticism and also the intent of your key forward to come back and help at the half-back line and take an intercept mark.
Nice little give. Bruin was cruising by. Deep ball, inside 50. Chance for Ollie Henry. Wilkie. Important left hand on the football. Windhager went without it. Still in dispute. Wilkie keen to keep it in without getting pinged.
Tom, can you please...
Great play by Jeremy Cameron, just to get back and help out and then to influence.
Rangers fear to tread. Clark threads it down the line. Little one to Bruin, now to Myers. Myers on the left. Not where he wanted it. Windhager intercepts.
This is the time here. This is where you've got to be patient if you're St Kilda.
That won't help. Put it straight into the arms of Mitch Duncan, who was the youngest player. Cats 2011 premiership alongside Joel Selwood, and he's still going great guns. Look at that. Superb pass to Jeremy Cameron. He's got time to help himself to a drink. And we know he's got the class to finish from here.
One that way, Jeremy. Thank you, stop. Stand there. Stay there.
There's the trademark squeeze of the Sharon. He was on world record pace at the start of last year. First 8 games, he was kicking them for fun, and have a look at that finish. Jeremy Cameron with a bit of genius. Just how casual he's able to do things that very few can. Jeremy Cameron, as Joe Watson pointed out, he's back at half-back, helping out the defence. He's the ultimate team player, and what an asset to have that skill forward of centre.
The ball in the hands of Mitch Duncan, and that part of the ground is exactly what the Cats are after, and Jeremy Cameron just opening up space. And there's very few that can take it from 45 out and do that, but he is one of them. He's shown us one on the run, he's shown us that one. His set shot might need a bit of work during the week, the simple one.
One of the Cats' greats, and will never be in the top 2 number 5s the club's seen. It's a famous number. He's worn it brilliantly. Problem is he's got a couple of absolute superstars in front of him. Stanley knocks it down, gets about 10 metres out of the circle, crouches there, handballs to himself in the end. Myers
advantage,
puts on the tackle. There you go, the advantage is finally called. Mason Wood rolls onto his left. Good chance for Owens. Can he outrun Stewart? Knew that he couldn't. Stewart, brilliant in the tackle. So desperate, so hungry.
Time back off.
It's a heavyweight battle, those two, isn't it? Tom Stewart on Owens. Be a great watch all night.
Yep. Dangerfield will get the free kick, just held in the end.
That's fine. Stand. Come back on. Thanks, Jack.
Joel, you talked about the Geelong intensity with tackling, and it's 8-zip this quarter, so they've really identified that and then done something about it in the early part of this second quarter. It's almost as like you knew exactly what they should do, Joel.
Got him. Yep, stand.
You still texting the coach?
No, I'm out. I'm barracking for the umpires, believe it or not. I reckon there's a few at home think that I've been barracking for them for a long time.
Rowan. Yep.
Strength of Hawkins on show again. The give to Duncan. He's within range.
There's not a AFL person who wouldn't know that Tom Hawkins is going to try and take the ball out of the boundary throw-in, but there's still not much you can do about it when it's one-on-one like that, and he's just able to use his craft and his strength and his smarts as well.
The incredible part, Job, is that he manhandles ruckman like Rowan Marshall, who's incredibly hard to get off the line. You know he's going to do it, but he's just so strong.
Stand.
Gets away with it. Ollie Dempsey started really well. Beautiful little dance step. Dempsey for his second goal. I think he likes it off the boot. And that is 5 unanswered goals for the Cats as Ollie Dempsey kicks his second. What a joy around Ollie Dempsey. His teammates celebrate. The Cats have flexed their muscles here. Got it out to a 24-point lead, and there's a little sad Saints fan.
It's not even half-time, round one.
He's got the fresh haircut.
He came prepared.
You can get your heart broken quickly in this game.
It is shocking, isn't it? The sporting team that's getting rolled.
It is one of those grounds where you've got to come forward as a defence. Mark O'Connor does a great job there. Gets it in the hand of Ollie Dempsey, and it's great polish by the kid, and it's great to see him taking on the game too. And a great celebration to finish. A lot of love from his teammates.
And Zach Guthrie and Sammy De Koning all going to the same hairdresser. Owens finds himself in the middle. Crouch. Philippou.
Great tackle.
Stand.
So Jai Clark just played the one game last year.
Play on.
Top 10 draft pick. Be keen to stay in the hoops all year this. In the end, easy pickings for Stocker. Stocker to Crouch.
Play on. Play on. Yep.
Crouch picks off the lead and finds Membry.
3 metres back. Stand.
Just have a look at that time in forward half. Still hovering around that 80% to Geelong. St Kilda just going to have to work at getting better field position, but it doesn't help when you've got your back six like Geelong are taking intercept marks like that. The forwards just have to bring the ball to ground, especially long down the line like that.
Outside 5. Play on.
Make Ross Lyon happy. The ball just needed, as Joe suggested, to come to ground. Mason Wood. Beautifully taken by Myers to Holmes. They're dominating all of a sudden the Cats. Duncan, we know what a beautiful kick he is. Wilkie read it. Better off the boot, and the Cats are going to have to defend here. Just made the Saints a little nervous, ball in hand all of a sudden with the pressure they put on. So Wilkie goes a conservative down the line. Max King couldn't get a run at it. They're really just wanting to hop momentum here all of a sudden, the Saints. It's that time, Joe, where you don't want the game to get away from you. 24 points down.
And you just got to work on the contest and then the basics, getting better field position so you're not living in the back half for you and being more physical around the ball. Just doing the simple things really well. That's how you create momentum and get yourself back in games.
Tui tried to fish it up to Bruin, who is cruising by.
Thanks, Mark.
Completely different look, Joe, with Bruin and Jai Clark a year or two on versus early doors at the club. And Bruin on cue on the left sends the ball long towards full forward. Henry held out brilliantly by Cal Wilkie. 50 going the way of Battle.
Yeah, even the speed out of those stoppages, Ham, I think we're going to see that a lot through the year from the Cats.
Play on. Me.
Battle's kick perfect to Marshall. And now Ross feeds the ball to Crouch. Almost out of trouble, then lost the footy, but got taken high. Windhagen will be 60 from home when he looks for a forward leading inside 50.
Time back on, stand, Patrick.
He just looks like the right play to wear the number 2 for the Saints.
Tough and hard, and will be there a long time, you would think.
I think he'd be looking now pretty happy that he's got the jumper on.
Yeah, Spud is always thought of when you see the number 2, and it's Spud's game on Thursday night. Saints and the Pies at the G. It'll be thought of a lot during the week and over the weekend. This number was worn pretty well over the journey too. So the number 12 crosses the arc, kicks it pretty neatly. Umpire Hartley shuffles. So King gets the Saints second and his first of the year. A little happier smile now, which is nice to see.
we'll just have a look at the space here. And we talked about pre-game about the efficiency of St Kilda going forward. Have a look at Max King there. Just the area in which he can work into. Just got off Tom Stewart. It's his 5th mark for the game, his 4th uncontested mark, and he'll be able to hit the scoreboard a lot more if he's got that kind of space to work into.
Hugely important goal, that one from Max King. That's the first tackle the Saints have laid this quarter, and we're 15 minutes in. So they have been, you can see they're out tackled 11-1, and not really the way that we're used to St Kilda playing. Burns a little bit of a fumble. Windhager pirouetted out of trouble, but there's more trouble to come. Wanganeen-Milera, that was cleverly done. He's hoiked it around the corner and it's landed in Rowan Marshall's lap, and they've got the overlap option here. Tom Stewart in 2 minds. It's rarely the case. Higgins is going to get it over the top. Can they pull it again and see if they can find Max King? And that's where Cooper Sharman's heading. It just was a little awkward. And well done the Cats defence to shuffle back, but Burns can send it inside forward 50. Membry's going to come out at it, and that's a transition from defence to forward 50 that will make the Saints happy.
Yeah, initially it was really good defensive running by Connor, I think, who worked really hard to get back and intercept that Max King mark. And that's the advantage, though, of setting the ground up, Joel, and then getting repeat inside 50s off the back of it.
That's it, and with good sides, they'll get it back in, and Tim Membry in the right spot at the right time.
3-time leading goal kicker for the Saints. Tim Membry kicked the first of the night, and that is a beautiful finish. Back-to-back goals for the Saints. Got to admire St Kilda. They'll let the scoreboard get too out of control, and they've kicked 2 right against the run of play. Tim Membry gets his 2nd.
Well, we just saw this defensive running by the Geelong midfielders. They worked really hard. It was O'Connor to get back and intercept, but then the repeat inside 50 means if you could do it quickly enough, it's hard to get back directly onto your man. And Tim Membry just in the right spot, and a great conversion, his 2nd of the night, and 2 in a row for the Saints.
Back-to-back goals and back 2-2 goals. 12 more inside 50s for the Cats, but the Saints are staying in touch. Important couple of minutes. Henry just a little fumble, goes back, gets the footy, then gets caught.
Geelong. Time back on Stan. Play on.
Blitzarves with speed, but Sharman had it delivered almost as if it was intended for him onto the chest. 9 to play before the long break. Saints, after looking like they're in a bit of trouble, have got the last 2. Stewart under pressure to Atkins. Guthrie now. Low ball towards Dempsey. Almost reeled it in. Ball stayed in play. Dempsey got the free kick. Battle just got a little bit agricultural. Been told for the record that Sam de Koning and Ollie Dempsey live together and actually cut each other's hair. So all we need to work out is what Guthrie's doing with his. A little chance now for Hawkins. On the up was good. Henry to close. Already has 1. Trying to set up another. Over the top. Looping ball. Waiting for it. Clark. Beaten to it by Wanganeen-Milera.
That confidence that he's built. An outstanding season last year in Asaya. Wanganeen-Milera. And see the confidence there on display. Good contest from Owens. Henry. Ground level ball. Marshall doesn't want to drag that under. Still pinballing around. Henry's worked hard. It's the first gamer. Darcy Wilson had his kick smothered.
Down here at ground level, you can tell that Rowan Marshall is the one who's really lifted the Saints in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Some follow-up work after the stoppage. He's lost his boot in this ball up, but he's really working hard around the ground to get his midfielders going.
A really important player for them, Lingy. He's set the standard regularly. Rowan Marshall, Blitzarves, clever handball in the path of Bruin. He's had a little fumble, but enough skill to go back, shank the kick. Open the door for Seb Ross. There's Marshall again, who's running around with one boot on. It's hack forward Hawkins. Saints have got that extra number back, and this is where we've seen them dangerous on the rebound. Can Burns collect it? Look at Stewart. He never, ever gets that wrong. He knows the timing, Jove, and always seems to find his man.
Unbelievable reading of the play. He made up 40 metres there off the ball just to get to that contest, just to stop the momentum of it going forward. Just reads the game so well.
Stop, stop, stop. Bring the shoe back and throw the ball in. Rowan, yeah, ball back to the boundary umpire. And you can put your shoe on, okay? Back to the boundary umpire.
Has this ever happened before?
Rowan!
I can't remember.
Because the Geelong player threw the shoe away, okay?
Okay. So if it
must be
wasn't thrown away, it'd still be on the ground.
You see something that you've never seen before, don't you, in a game of footy? I didn't understand that rule, Joel, but you can see, in fairness to Graham Myers, he's thinking that's a hazard.
Yeah.
Oh, get it out of the way.
Yeah. Who knows? He might end up with the money bank being a little bit lighter throughout the week. I'm not sure what the rule is.
Meanwhile, Jai Clark goes and gets the football. Bruin. Handball not quite as he would have liked. Zach Guthrie corrals it towards O'Connor. Still a couple of options. Guthrie, touch ball play on. You heard the umpire. Bonner wrapped up by Close. How'd you spend your money this week? Well, I moved a shoe out of the way and got fined $5,000. Okay. Played for free. Burns to the outer side. No one will be stopping that.
Was it a nice shoe hammer or just a regular shoe?
That was just in the way. I can't really remember. I didn't get to keep the shoe.
It was just expensive either way.
It was just a big week.
Marshall again. Seb Ross, the Saints have lifted. Had a good 5 or 6 minutes. Hill, underground handball was clever to Windhager. Henry's got to sit underneath it. Out the back, Jack Higgins has got space. And they did well because they separated the defender, Jack Henry. Membry came at the leading option. And now Tim Membry can line up for goal number 3.
Yeah, well, that's what efficiency looks like, is when you've got an outnumber like the Saints did. They were able to separate the defender. They forced the Geelong defender to have to go to one of them, which meant the other one was free. And the St Kilda player just took his time, found the forward who was free, and Tim Membry.
He played the 7 games last year, did Tim Membry. They just look a better side with him in their forward half. Gives that one a big hook. It's going to stay in play. Launching out at Owens. Great competitor, that young man is.
And the Tim Membry shot was set up by the great hands from the stoppage. And it's coming into tonight, that's where the Saints get the advantage. They played together for a good period now. And gets the shot on goal.
No real clear win. In the end, Clark ends up with a football, tumbles it back towards the square. Off a fist, chance for Windhager. Brave was Holmes, rode the tackle well and the bump, and then over the top to O'Connor. Chance for Mitch Duncan. Low towards half forward. Guthrie's got Burns to beat. Burns has to beat Guthrie. Guthrie did well. Ryan Myers. He of Shoegate towards Dempsey. And Dempsey continues to flourish.
Hands off, Tom. Tom, walk away. You've got the kick. Walk away.
You set the mark.
Okay, you're on the mark. Stand there, please.
Guys, out.
Tom. Out. Mark's here, please.
Hawke getting a little angry in his old age. Well done, Holmes. Windhager put the bump on. Holmes just got a little higher, landed on his feet and moved on. Dempsey initially caught behind, finds himself in front and has an opportunity to kick his third. Dempsey has 3, and the Cats lead by 3 goals.
Well, there was Graham Myers that was sending it inside 50 on more occasions than anyone last year, but Ollie Dempsey finishing the good work there. He worked so hard off the ball to make sure he got the opportunity and made the most out of his opportunities with 3 goals to start this game.
Perfect bounce. Stanley guided it to perfection to Dangerfield. Stengel and now Hawkins slapped it back to his partner in crime, Jeremy Cameron, who's well tackled by Cordy. Follows up with some pressure on Myers, and now the umpire has decided that one's out of bounds.
Critical 4-5 minute period here for St Kilda. They've done a good amount of work. We just see danger on the fly, delivering an inside 50, but they've got to stay in touch. They can't allow Geelong to kick 2 or 3 quick ones just before half-time.
It feels like an important 4.5 minutes leading into the half-time break. Stengel's capable of anything, and look at the kick. Non-preferred, perfect to Hawkins.
Come back 1 metre. Stay out. Clear out. Clear out. Just there. Stand there. Stand. Tom, that's your line. Mark is there. Grind. Stay behind him. Or in line with him.
Incredible the quality that Tom Hawkins is delivering at this stage of his career. He makes that look easy most times and just collected with a goal post.
So unusual for a big key forward to get better the older you get. Normally it's the opposite, but he has become a better player in the last 5 or 6 years of his career as opposed to when he was in his typical prime in your mid-20s.
It's great to see it across the league, Joe. We look over to Adelaide and Tex Walker not playing this weekend, but doing the same thing there. And it's the players that are coming in around you. Here for the Tomahawk, he's got Jeremy Cameron. At Adelaide, he's got this young group of players coming in and making him better.
Burns just fires the handball towards Crouch. Bruin on his back. Clark heard the call from Holmes, dislodged. Henry goes ferreting in. Duncan gave it off, and the Cats come out with the football. Stengel leaves it for Dempsey. Dempsey, little flick to Cameron. That was superb. Almost the finish. Just back to the boot. I just got something from an umpire who said he would have awarded the free kick. I said, what for? And he said, essentially misconduct. They've been told if Mason Cox's goggles are interfered with, or GPS units, or Bruce Doole's headband is thrown away, that's misconduct free kick. So he was actually probably lucky not to have a free kick against. He's allowed Rowan Marshall to put the boot back on and hold play.
Rowan, race.
Anyway, just passing it on.
Marshall has got that boot back on, and they'll need him firing here. Holmes flicked a little one into the path of Bruin. They've cleverly worked it back to Graham. Myers generally does something really good by foot. That was courage everywhere. Burns came back with a flight, but the Cats have got more numbers here at ground level. Sliding in and stopping the close mark, taking a really good mark was the Saints skipper, Jack Steele.
It's hard in your mouth of that contest. It was in slow motion, players running from all angles. Thankfully, everyone up and okay.
Henry has got out the back, and Max King, we know he's quick, and he's decided to go with a little sand wedge over the top, put it out in the path of Henry, who's quick as well. He's had a bit of a fumble. Tom Stewart, brilliant as always. Jack Higgins, he might have got his head ripped off. Umpire said he accentuated the contact. It comes out to Philippo, and that is something from nothing for the Saints. They just battled their way down the ground. Tom Stewart working overtime to save a goal, but really important. St Kilda late goal just before half-time, and Mateus Philippo in his second year looks bigger and stronger on the back of a really solid first up season.
The impressive thing about the play was Max King knowing his teammate that he hasn't been playing with for too long, Liam Henry, making sure that he could outwork the Geelong players, and the off-ball ball movement by Philippo to get a chance to have a shot on goal is really important at this time of the game.
Straight up.
Two ruckmen just leaning into each other. Dangerfield out of the air. Mason Wood had a good piece of it, just lost it, couldn't take it cleanly. And then Marshall over the top towards Stocker. He was really clever and then stopped, and Stengel just flew right by in front of Sharman.
2 metres, Sam.
A couple of runners to the right ignored. Leading Higgins. Happy to move it on quickly. Mason Wood will be within range.
Yep. Go forward 1 metre.
Keen to move it on.
Yep. Brad out. Brad out.
Now might just have to own the moment.
He had a long, hard look at Liam Henry, but the space closed really quickly. It was the right call not to pull the trigger and try and get it to him. Better off taking his time and a shot for goal.
Big lead was 24. Saints have kicked 3 of the last 4. Always pushed it out to the left. Still a chance the Saints. Desperation in the end from Jeremy Cameron.
Cats had a game-high lead of 24 points at the halfway mark of this second term. Credit to St.Kilda. Back to 13. A minute remaining. Share it around to Tom Stewart. Great hands here. He's acutely aware that it's deep in the quarter, not far until half-time, and they're happy just to be patient here, the Cats, and work it through to Tanner Bruin.
And like you said, Das, the Cats got the jump on the Saints early in the quarter, but to arm wrestle it back, I think both clubs will be happy going in at half-time.
Max Holmes has got incredible speed. Look at that. 3 bounces. He's covered some ground like very few can in this game and got it all the way deep. Late goal opportunity, 10 seconds and counting. Wilkie, a little nervous moment here. The clock's counting down. This is the first gamer. He's hacked it over the boundary line. It's just a little nervous moment, understandable. Darcy Wilson on debut. He played it pretty well until the last second, and Mark O'Connor is going to send it inboard, and we have a Grime Myers after the siren.
Stand there.
Opportunity
so
here at half-time.
You can start off your line, but you must kick directly over the man on the mark.
The distance in him, Joel.
Well, he is one player that does the work more than anyone else at this. He has a strange kicking style, to say the least, Joe.
And he's been warned, I think, Joel, by the umpire around if he plays one around the arc, and I wonder if that's going to slightly put him off. It felt like it did. He was trying to stay straight, which is not his normal action, and as a result, he's put that out of bounds.
Odd 50s, and Geelong are dominating that at the moment, so clearly it's been played in their half. The Saints would like to get a bit more.
Has taken the 5 marks, but you're right, a bit higher up the ground. They want them a bit deeper, closer to goal.
Good news is Geelong are 13 up, so 13 away from my predicted draw. Enjoy the second half.
Marshall just trying to guide it down to Windhager. Dangerfield collected from behind in the tackle. It's good pressure from Ross, and Windhager fought really hard to scramble half a kick, and then he's dragged that under, so he might have to be a little careful, but got the benefit of the doubt. There's the 2 debutants, the 26-year-old on the right, who dominated the VFL Grand Final with 6 goals.
High contact, St. Kilda. Marshall, stand, play on.
And that's Collard, the young, exciting, super skilled.
St. Kilda. St. Kilda, King.
Free kick going the way of Max King. So
King. Right where he marked it, right where the free kick was.
Doesn't need a lot of possessions, Joe Watson, Max King, to hurt you big time.
No, he doesn't. He'd be pleased with the style of footy that he's coming in. We just have a look at, we talked about the Draconi-King contest beforehand.
Sam, right?
Not much in it at the end. Maybe a grab before the ball was in the 5-metre area, but can make the most of it here.
Can draw free kicks, Max King. He's such a big physical presence. That one's going to stay to the left. And a disappointing miss.
Run out now. Behind the blue dot, Tim. Tim. Play on.
Guthrie to Duncan. Cam Guthrie, one of the 2 Cats on the injury list, keen to get back out there. He and Gary Rowan. Duncan heading towards the interchange battle. Quickly back inside 50. Front spot Mitch Duncan, and then eases it out to a couple of cats who can work it around. To Koning, happy to go to Holmes, who's got that terrific speed, as we know. Looked over to the left and saw Brad Hill still backed himself. Wonderful to Blitzarves. Blitzarves now towards Cameron. Does the muscling work. Flying was Ollie Henry. Shoe's been removed. Brian Myers won't go anywhere near it. That's Liam Stockers.
Max Holmes up to 15 disposals, going at 100% efficiency as well. He's been really impressive so far tonight.
Hawkins to Dangerfield. It's a nice pick up from Atkins, and he shoveled it back to Tanner Bruin, who under pressure floats it across the face of goal. Joe, it feels like sides are really quite happy with the repeat stoppage inside 50 to build the pressure. Is that the case?
Yeah, even you see the guys in the tackle that hold on to the ball a little bit longer. It'll be interesting to see if the umpires clamp down on it as the season goes on.
So Cats here applying more pressure, and
holding.
Free kicks going away of young Mateus Filippo, and his jumper held. Had an outstanding first year. At every game. Just seems so comfortable. Level. Oh, it's what a grab! He's 3-4 attempts. Very unlucky not to have that paid. It was a big jump. Marshall slaps it down. Atkins with clean hands. The Cats have worked hard back. Myers crafts a little kick to Mitch Duncan, true centre-half back.
Brings it towards a couple of likely types. Holmes steps in front of O'Connor and then drives the ball long towards Dangerfield or Hawkins. Hawkins first crack at it. Burns had to be quick. Did well in the end, and then Cordy. The exit kick is poor. Back to Holmes. Holmes thought about De Koning and then saw where he was running, and that was into trouble. Owens was waiting for him. Again a deep ball. Blitzarves from the side. Soccer time from Hawkins, just bounced away. Mason Wood did a good job of it. Killed the footy. Fisted it over.
Tom, move out. Move out of the area immediately.
It's clubhouse leader, isn't it?
Oh, thanks, mate. Play on.
Wilkie.
Play on.
Shows it out wide to Mason Wood. Controlling that outer wing. Kick favoured Duncan, but swarm of Saints arrive and trying to surge it forward in the path of Henry. Here's Jeremy Cameron, as John Sewell told us, got a licence to go wherever he likes, and on that occasion Zane Cordy too tall for the smaller Stengel, gets it over the boundary line.
Race.
A breath of wind tonight here in Geelong. It's beautiful. Ground in fantastic shape. Marshall picked up by Dangerfield. Incredible, he's maintained that level of speed. Getting back, Josh Battle. Hawkins fell over as he was trying to get access to the footy, and just a little bit sore on the back of it. But once again, Joe, it's the Saints' discipline to get back on mass and make sure that they're hard to score against.
Yeah, it was Battle on that occasion.
Dangerfield brilliant against Henry. Handball too hot for O'Connor in the end. Back towards Dangerfield. Off a step, drives the ball with his strength towards Tyson Stengel, who moves Wanganeen-Milera out of the way. And Stengel can have a look at his first of the year.
Been really impressed. Chris Scott touched on it before the game about players getting a full pre-season, the older players, and who's really excited to see. I've been really impressed with, you know, Dangerfield and Stewart and their leg speed. They look fresh, they look fast, they look like they've got a lot of work, and it's translating to how they're moving across the ground. And obviously this Cat side has been deep into finals a lot of the time, so they've had a lot of time to prepare for this season.
Coming back, not enough. Amazing how his career turned around once he arrived at the Cattery. Left his first year a premiership player.
Wanganeen-Milera looked at a target that ended up with Stocker, and it's going to come back with some interest here as Tom Stewart, the beneficiary of the free kick. Time for O'Connor to pick it up. And he massages a little kick to Colajazny. Overlap run provided by Mark O'Connor. That's good defensive work from the Saints. First game are working really hard. Darcy Wilson and the Saints fought back into it again. Seb Ross working overtime in the midfield, and just sense that there's a really clear description, Joe, of what's required when you're a St Kilda player, that the midfielders understand their role really well.
Yeah, you'd be left in no uncertain terms about what the expectations are in a Ross Lyon coach side.
Brilliant from Higgins in the end. Seb Ross, hurried ball. Allows Owens and Stewart to go at it. Stewart didn't break stride, got a shin onto it and moved it towards that boundary line. He'll be pleased with that. First time Chris Scott coached the Cats was against Ross Lyon, round 1, 2011. Cats won by a point. Remains the only time Chris Scott's Cats have won with a score of under 60 in his time.
Hold the meter, please.
Stanley and Marshall. In the end, Jack Steele the beneficiary. Hurriedly towards King. Had a fair bit of it, and in the Koning under pressure. Owens arrived. King ends up with a football. Onto the left. Going to just drop short. Important here. Wilson. He's kicked his first. The youngster in his first outing. The adrenaline be pumping now. Fifth kick of the night, 7th disposal. 1-1 next to his name in game 1.
This is the next evolution of Max King. Great body use against a strong player in Sam de Koning. The follow-up at ground level and getting the ball inside forward 50. Brilliant play. And what a moment for young Darcy Wilson. He will remember that one for the rest of his life. And it won't just be him who remembers that one. His family, everybody who's helped him on his journey to that moment. Sensational from the Saints and for Darcy Wilson.
I'm reliably told that Darcy Wilson secured 30 tickets, and friends and family have done the 329 kilometres from Wangaratta to GMHBA Stadium, and they will be pumped with that first goal. Membry sets himself for a marking opportunity that he'd like to have again. Here he is, Wilson. Great tackle effort from the youngster in his first game. Jai Clark, the Saints have really lifted their rating. Picked up by Stocker, slides it in the Owens direction. He got over the top. Membry can pick it up, and he can score. He's missed, jammed it into the post. That's the 5th poster of the night.
Keep going.
Couple to the Saints and 3 to the Cats.
Now it's time for the Saints to put the pressure on the Cats. Let's see how they stand up here.
Suddenly things feel very different after the Darcy Wilson goal. That followed the late goal from Filippo in that second term. The 4-goal lead that the Cats enjoyed has been whittled down now just to 8 points.
Das, I was just trying to get my head around. Did you say 30 tickets down here at Geelong? Because I'm unsure if it's ever been done that the Geelong Footy Club have handed out that many. There's the family there, as we see. Looks like a happy mum. Sisters, maybe a girlfriend.
Just the excitement and the elation, the beginning of a football journey.
Forget how much goes into getting a young man or young woman to their debut, AFL or AFLW level. So many involved. Marshall tumbles it forward. Can the Saints press again here? Owens to Henry. Henry check side. Oh, is that another poster? Or is it bounced on through?
Sam, clear away. Sam, clear away.
Post, wasn't it?
I believe it's a behind. Can we please make sure the ball hit the post on the way through?
Okay. Score review. The umpire's call is a behind. Can we please check if the ball hit the post?
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball deviates after making contact with the goalpost. Decision on the scoreboard.
They're pressing hard here, St Kilda. Tom Stewart the go-to Ollie Dempsey, athletic attempt. A real standout in this game. Atkins with clean hands. Tanner Bruin worked it back to Atkins. Striking bit of play for the Cats, but it's over the head of Jai Clark, and that's a beautiful sidestep from Burns. He had Jack Higgins as the target. The doors opened out the back, and this is the first gamer again. Wilson, he's already kicked one. He's put his hand up and miscued, but exciting to see him really looking comfortable at this level, Joe.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it was a great call, Das. It was the Burns decision to come off his man, and it's now St Kilda, 69% time in forward half. They're the ones that are controlling the field position. Geelong have to start to absorb it and just work on getting the ball back into a contest, taking what the defence will give you and slowly working the ball up, because St Kilda feel like they've got the momentum. They want the ball in motion now. Got to capitalise in modern football when you have the momentum.
Thank you, Mark. Mitch, Mark.
Blitz halves has the height advantage over Owens in a big way. Little chance for Wood. Dangerfield's tackle was important. So too Tui's. Close. An area in the end. Then the little shovel. Wanganeen-Milera squeezes it towards half forward. Higgins gets on his bike. Bounce was favourable. Handball not ideal for Liam Henry. Wood back to Crouch. Crouch to Henry. Henry to the 50. Takes a little off the kick. Higgins! Kolajasny stole it from him. Filippo spent a lot of his time in the back half early tonight. Blitz halves. Happy to just dump the ball as far as he could. Sharman got a fist onto it, and the Saints look a little more lively.
The St Kilda Football Club love those players. Sharman now gone into defence, but we're seeing Philippou, these hybrid type players that are now that AFL sort of standout player that you go for in the draft.
Yeah, Mitch Owens in that category as well. So he can play ruck, he can play forward, he can take a centre bounce as a midfielder. And Saints are really asking a question here. Jai Clark, he's an impressive second game at a Dempsey. He's tried to create something there that potentially was a bit ambitious. Henry, if he gets free, he's going to be hard to catch. There's Owens fighting hard, slapped down nicely, taken by Bradley Hill, but the kick was just miscued. And the Cats through. Kolajasny, but what about Wanganeen-Milera? Nearly back the other way. This game has gone to a whole new level. Tanner Bruin for the Cats. Dangerfield demanded it and got it out wide.
You feel like this is what Geelong want to do. They just want to take some heat out of the game. St Kilda want the ball in motion. They want it free-flowing. Geelong just got to pick their way through it.
Zach Guthrie, edge of the square, puts it towards a leading Ollie Henry. Not quite. O'Connor tries to jump a couple. Big tackle from Burns. Jeremy Cameron's bounce. Sails through for a minor score. Cats by 8 points.
Outside 5.
Josh Battle
Me.
to Ryan Burns.
Outside 5.
Cats had a 24-point lead at the halfway mark of the second term, and look on the back of 5 unanswered goals to be just stealing this game away from the Saints, but it's been super impressive for St Kilda. You know the Cats are going to come big time as O'Connor and Bradley Hill do battle.
Joel, one of the things that Geelong do really well, they seem to control the corridor. They seem to default to guarding the corridor rather than going wide, and it means that they're just always in control at this ground.
Blitz halves to a very dangerous spot, and a dangerous man, Dempsey, lining up for his fourth.
You're not wrong, Job. I mean, we've seen St Kilda take it out, get it up to the halfway part of the ground pretty easy throughout some parts of the night.
Powell, 10 metres, please. 2 more. Good going, thank you.
How impressive has this kid been tonight? Lining up for his fourth, just that athleticism.
He gets 4. He joins Cameron, Hawkins, Stengel, Henry and Close as the Cats that have been able to kick 4 or more in the last 2 seasons. What an addition this would be to those 5. 6 posters. 6.
Play on! You handle.
Saints tracking the outer side, and they've gone out of bounds on the 4. We're going to get to Aaron Phillips. Has there been a sub activated, Aaron?
Yeah, boys, Seb Ross is off, Lance Collard is on, so exciting times for the young fella.
Can't wait to see him, Aaron. He's got some tricks and some speed. Tom Stewart having a chat with the coaching staff.
Play the footy.
The 18-year-old from WA, as Seb Ross takes the vest. Let's hope that's just a tactical sub and nothing untoward there, but really excited to see Lance Collard, who's going to go deep forward, I think, Joel.
It does feel like a tactical sub, does. I mean, St Kilda got that run of that free-flowing game that you're talking about. Lance Collard sounds like that he fits that mould perfectly.
Rowan Marshall. No. Dangerfield. There's Clark. By letting this one go. Danger reefed it out of there, but Burns put that one straight up in the air. You heard the call, play on. Atkins trying to bulldoze his way through, but can't. There is the debutant. There'll be some nerves rattling through that little frame at the moment.
Famous name, famous number. Plugger, Breen, Baldock, amongst others who've worn that number 4 for the Saints. And Lance has his first minutes at AFL level from the West by Subiaco, now a Saint. It has been confirmed. Seb Ross, tactical sub. I'm told Lance Collard's speed and Darcy Wilson's speed equally as impressive as each other's. So look for some real dash over the years from Collard. Here's a chance for O'Connor. Floats it forward. Dempsey's going to have another look at his 4th. Darts inside. Cursory glance at best. I think his intention all the while was to go back and kick at goal.
We talked about the value of repeat inside 50 entries. Players get off their man, a quick kick comes back in, and all of a sudden you're at the right spot, and just being able to build pressure over a period of time. Both teams have been able to capitalise on it tonight.
3-1, 7 score involvements. Across the face it goes. Henry flew.
You up, Tommy? Rowan, hold the metre, guys.
That's really dangerous in this situation. Look out for Hawkins. He's guided it back to Cameron on the fly to Stengel. Some class in that combination. He's pretty good chance from there normally, but he's missed to the near side.
Done a really good job, Geelong, in this last 5-minute period. They've just been able to take the heat out of the game, change the momentum. Felt like St Kilda were coming, and all of a sudden the ball's just been living in Geelong's forward half for the last 5 minutes.
6-5 to 6-13. Last 8 scores for the Cats have been behinds. Clark left it behind. Holmes went over the top, found Atkins. Atkins to a bit of space. First man there was close. Whipped it around the corner. Riley Bonner had to be good. Zach Guthrie closed with speed. Strong tackle.
Thanks, Riley.
Prowling. Chris Scott.
Thanks, mate. Rux, Tom, Rowan.
Strength again from Hawkins. Emerges with the football off to Clark. Throw the call.
Who's kick, JP?
Marshall.
Who's that?
Marshall.
Yep, Mateus Philippa. Just here. Mateus' kick.
The old 4 umpires got him, I reckon. Hey, you get away with those ones back in the day, but you can't get away with much here. They get themselves in great position.
I think Hawke might have caught a glance of the replay and agreed with the umpire's call.
Very hard to argue against that one as the Saints get it to Max King, and that's a great sign. Contested mark down the line. Higgins and Henry, they get it to ground. Zach Tui, some composure and experience back there. Tui, he might have been smart enough, the Irishman, to fake that over the line.
I think you're being kind to him, Darcy.
Ricocheted off his face, and
Mark, hold the meter, please.
It's the ability of a key forward to take a mark like that. You talked about it, Darcy. Max King, he's up to 6 for the night, but just so important your key forward can grab that in the air.
Higgins to Owens. He was about to put the slipper in it. He ran into Atkins, picked up though by Windhager. Sliced it off the boot. Out of bounds on the full.
Geez, Darcy Wilson looks dangerous. He's just getting to spots. He's just missed out on that one, but he's getting to some great spots.
And a 5:52 2K time trial. Joel, put that into context. How elite is that?
I mean, that would be in the top couple percent in the league. Let alone elite runners, I reckon. Elite runners are not doing that much quicker than that over that period.
Good chance here for Henry to clean up from a Cats perspective. Wanganeen-Milera, clever handball to Marshall, back towards Wanganeen-Milera, now to Battle. Battle, low ball, quick ball. Suddenly, Darcy Wilson's kick looked dangerous, intercepted by Dangerfield. Just on Darcy Wilson, I saw Brad Hill on the game pre-game. He said his endurance is ridiculous, and suddenly there's a faster run at the club than Brad. So he was sort of upset, but also happy at the same time.
Well, for the layman, in terms of how quick that is, I'd be using binoculars to be able to see him if we were running against each other. He's flying.
He's got some pedigree too. Great uncle Des Cole played for St Kilda in the 50s. Uncle Premiership Roo Mick Nolan. Back the Saints go towards half forward. Zach Guthrie saves the day. And over the top, into the hands of Duncan. Brilliant cat for a long time. De Koning now. Attacking side of the wing. O'Connor important. Dempsey's been so impressive. Back to O'Connor. The Irishman goes deep into the pocket. Cameron against Wilkie.
Not sure if we're going to get time to talk about it, Joe, but your first time trial, that went okay, if I remember correctly.
5-minute head start and came home
in a
10 minutes behind everyone else.
Geelong, who's up? No, Geelong! No, Geelong!
Wasn't a stretch, Joel.
Cats are now not able to have a ruckman compete because they didn't nominate on time, so Marshall quite understandably took clean possession, but it's going to come straight back to Koning. Sends it high and long, looking in the direction of Ollie Henry, but Marshall was strong and in the right spot again. So it was a 13-point half-time lead the Cats enjoyed. Has been drawn back to 10 points, but you feel like the confidence the Saints have got out of this quarter is more than the scoreboard action. That is a nervous moment for Riley Bonner, but they fight hard again. Look at them swarm onto it. Burns has been impressive. Kick ricochet back into his lap, but they've turned it over again.
The Cats have just got a little bit of space, which has been rare in this term. Close was left unattended. Now the deep ball to full forward. Dempsey's about to play, so too Cameron. Marshall went low. Bruin, clever. Wilkie, desperate. Bruin again, taken by a couple. 1-3 to 0-6 to the Cats in this term. Only goal to Darcy Wilson, his first in AFL football. Umpire Matt Stevic throws it up. Hawkins and Marshall do battle again. Dempsey beaten to it by Sharman. Hurried floating ball. Duncan onto his left. He measures it up. In the end, I think hits the post.
About 10. Still no.
Yeah, here we see some risky Saints footy, which we haven't seen a lot of in the past, but they've got those players now that they're willing to take these risks on and open that game up for that slingshot footy that they do play.
Yeah, and Ross signalled that over the summer that they were going to be a bit more aggressive out of defence. To Koning. So athletic. Happy to take maybe the game on a little bit more from that defensive half-back line, Joel.
Still with Jack Sinclair to come back into this side too, so they're going to have plenty of avenues to take the game on throughout the year.
Yeah, their best and fairest winner and a back-to-back All-Australian, Windhager.
Contact. Tom,
He's
2
been
metres.
infringed.
Stand. Me.
Just over a couple of minutes until three-quarter time. Saints would love to pinch another one here. Owens is the target, and with strength and skill, takes a big mark.
Yeah, it was a really good kick from Steele. He played on quickly, which was the important part that didn't allow the Geelong defenders to get set. And then he just put it on the favoured side. Nakoni just had his back to the ball, which meant that Owens was able to position himself to where the ball drop was going to be and just got him off balance. And that's what happens when you play on quickly further up the ground. Don't allow defenders to set themselves ready for a contest.
An outstanding year last year. Kicked 26-16. Averaged 15 disposals as a key forward. Not his best effort there, but just a great competitor. He's always fighting hard to make sure that they trap the ball in their forward half, Mitch Owens.
Play on.
Tui's kick falls a little short, but in the end, Bruin able to make good use of it. 90 seconds before the last change. The Saints have continued to whittle down since half-time. 13 is now 10. Did blow out to 24. And they've importantly held the Cats goalless in this third term. Guthrie. What can the Cats manufacture late in this third term? Fumble from De Koning, but time to gather. Eases it down the line. Henry pushed out of the play. Still plenty of time. Holmes is going to get it back from Henry. Duck inside with the handball. Stanley's kick. Kept in by Myers. Brilliant stuff from Steele in the end. Never took his eye off the footy. Cats by 10. 35 to play in the third.
For Chris Scott to think about, closing in on three-quarter time. Marshall, Windhager fighting hard for possession. So come to centre wing. Koning, almost a juggled mark. Slapped forward by the Cats. They're tracking the boundary line. Atkins in the end happy to take it over.
Doesn't often happen, a goalless term under Chris Scott here at the Cattery. This will be, unless something happens in the next 18 seconds. Just the 6th time in 403 quarters at this venue that the Cats have gone goalless under Chris. Windhager, Henry, perhaps something late here from a Saints perspective. Philippou went to ground. Henry kept his feet. Higgins knows that Philippou was running. Is there a mark here?
Downfield, stand.
Downfield, the call.
End zone, yours.
Perhaps they get a bit lucky, the Cats, in the end. 10-point leaders at the last break. A wasteful 6-13 to 5-9. A change and back to finish off Saturday night football.
To do. He's able to freewheel and roam. St Kilda are okay with that because they like keeping a defender back and defending their back 50, but they've got to keep half an eye on Jeremy Cameron because if he does get goal side or get forward of the ball, we know what he's capable of.
And Ollie Dempsey, it's been good. Been great. 3 goals. He missed his opportunity, as you've just touched on, in the 3 quarters. But the young kids are coming through.
Yeah, they are. Darcy Wilson, he bobbed up everywhere, didn't he? Had some opportunities. Young Lance Collard has come on as the sub as well for St Kilda, and a few of the young Cats have been impressive. We've mentioned Ollie Dempsey a number of times, but I've loved Tanner Bruin's game as well as supporting Dangerfield in and around the contest.
Well, it was Geelong 4 points at quarter time. 13 at half time, the main change 10, so it's setting up to be a beauty here going into the last, and hopefully you're enjoying it at home. Can't wait to analyse this one.
This is very interesting. Joel, what are you seeing?
Sean Manners on the ground for his first run, so exciting for the young fella.
It's Tyson Stengel. Joel, really quickly in there. He's been subbed out. He had a bit of cramp late in that third quarter, so they're obviously a little concerned.
So the 26-year-old debutant, Sean Manners. What a fantastic story. There's Tyson Stengel, who's, Lingy just pointed out, a little bit of cramp.
That will help him, the coke.
He's rehydrating, Joel, as we speak. And you just love that someone who's been around for as long as Sean Manners gets a run. He kicked 6 goals in the VFL Grand Final. And he just forced his way into the system. You play that well, that consistently. Had a bit of time at Richmond in the VFL. Didn't crack it for a game, but you just deserve an opportunity, don't you, when you play that well.
Yeah, and it's in the biggest game. So the grand final last year, everyone knows he put his best performance out that day.
Word through. It is a tactical sub, so nothing apart from a bit of cramp for Tyson Stengel. So we've got Lance Collard at one end and Sean Manor, the two subs, two debutants are out in the field, and we've got a game that is delicately poised at the moment. Mason Wood gets going in the Max King direction. He has a good look at it, beautifully done front and centre. Henry, he's threatening. It's decided to pull the kick, but it's going to be okay. Picked up by Membry, and Membry's got three. Huge start to this final term. Chris Scott has taken himself out for a breather on the back of that. That's exactly what St Kilda wanted, and Tim Membry has been very important.
Well, they brought Liam Henry to the club this year to give them that run and carry, and just a fantastic effort from Higgins to spoil and bring it to the ground. He was out of position, and Membry at the right spot. He gets his third, but Henry front and centre over the top, and then Higgins, a great effort just to bring the ball to ground. First one in the last quarter, a big one for the Saints.
They've kicked 5 of the last 6, the Saints, and a 24-point deficit is now just 4. Got to be quick here, Bonner. He managed it pretty well in the end. No! I thought he'd done enough. Was he inside the 9? Just outside. Started just outside the 9. He must have. So a quick response, perhaps, through O'Reilly, Bonner. Misjudgment. Might just float across and be no score at all. So the Saints breathe a sigh of relief. So too Riley Bonner. Josh Battle will bring the ball back into play.
Shapes and kicks down the outer wing. Marshall gave a great contest. Crouch. Well done, Dangerfield. Just reefed it out of the hands of his direct opponent. Now Cameron is capable from there if he decides to have a flying shot going back stocker. It's still a live ball, but Saints have been able to get some numbers back there. There's not much further afield, and you could just see Jack Steele treading water, trying to draw a lead, and Higgins provided a great target. Almost completed the mark. But a credit to St Kilda, they have set the challenge in this last quarter.
And it was great play by Jack Steele to hold that up. He's shown leadership throughout the game, all game.
Stanley, nothing really that clean in the end, but the Saints end up with a football. Burns, beautiful to King, who's got a 70-metre patch of grass, needing a favourable bounce. Doesn't come.
Perhaps King will see and identify his teammate, knowing that he's got the fast pace, the wheels of Collard running back to goal. Just put it out in front of him, let him run onto it.
That was our first little glimpse of Lance Collard. No one's catching him anytime soon. He was lightning. How exciting for him. He's on the big stage, his first game, and could it be one of the debutants who comes up with a match winner? Tanner Bruin back to Holmes. Ollie Henry, beautiful use of the body. Tucked himself up and took the mark. Dangerfield, you can see, wanted it short. Hawkins deep. You got Cameron down there as well. There's some pressure on the Saints defenders. They hold up well. Josh Battle, the 1-2. And they work their way through by hand. Marshall directs it towards Membry. Membry finds a way to beat a couple with a big mark. Max King down the line. He's got a one-on-one with Jack Henry. Wants the quick ball movement. They head in that direction. Collard got it.
In the back.
a push, so
advantage.
It was going to be his first touch. Max King took the advantage and they'll get a reset, but you can see the disappointment. Max puts his hand up and says, my apologies for that one.
Just on 2 occasions down the line. The first half, Geelong were intercept marking it. St Kilda, memory, was outnumbered, took the mark. The second one got the ball to ground, just advancing the position of the ball further down the field.
Brilliant in the end, ends up with Marshall sidestepping low ball. 2-point game. 25 years since the Saints have won here at Cardinia Park. 17 of the 46 players weren't even born. It's been a while. Since then, the Cats have won 150 here.
Jasny with some great composure there under pressure. Dempsey, one of the very best tonight. Happy to go slightly in the corridor. By letting it go. Zach Tui got it back again from Graham Myers. He sends it goalward, but working back really hard. Mason Wood is known for his aerobic running. Wanganeen-Milera is having a look at the corridor kick. Saints thinking about being bolder, but they decide to just work it to the hard run of Stocko, who's got it still at half back for St Kilda. You almost feel the tension around GMHBA Stadium right now. It's on a knife edge, this game. The Saints are pressing, flicked out by Mason Wood. He got it to Crouch. Crouch ran into some trouble. Zach Guthrie, much improved play. Won't get through that tackle upon her.
Thanks, Zach. Rocks. Yeah, race.
And then Clark had the opportunity but left it behind.
Contact. St Kilda. Contact. St Kilda. Straight up. Stand there, Tom. Stand there. Stand, Tom.
Not sure either Tom Atkins or Jack Steele knew which way the free kick was going to go. Steele happy with the decision in the end. Now Mason Wood gives it a proper roost towards Max King. He flew too early. Stewart has Mitch Owens to beat. Owens was superb. Hill takes the advantage. Scrubbing ball for Higgins. Dealt with it pretty well. Wheels around on the left. Inside of the boot. Couple of desperate Cats. Collard left it behind. Henry to Duncan to Bruin to Wanganeen-Milera. Does he have good journey in the kick?
Well, he is one that they want to get the ball to off the half-back line, so I'm guessing that he is one of their better kicks in the side.
We talked all night about the importance of re-entries and keeping the ball in your forward half. Again, St Kilda just set up really well to be able to capitalise.
4 goals last year. This much welcomed by the Saints fans, but was always out to the right and drew back only a little. The margin is 1.
Right behind the Tom Stewart kick. Such a great decision maker. And everything he does, he's surveying the scene and then punches a clever kick to Jeremy Cameron. That was beautifully done. Could not have placed that any better for the gun Cats big forward Cameron. We often see back here at half back, and then he goes through a bit of a gallop. Heads down the line. Stanley, Marshall, Myers, Ollie Dempsey's trying to get free on the outer side. They go back inboard, and this is the first game of your first look at Sean Manor. Ends up with Dempsey. Centering kick's a good option. Brilliantly done to Tui. Some high fives for the debutant. And Ollie Dempsey continues to impress.
The last 30 entries for the Cats, they've kicked 1 goal late. Here's their opportunity. They've struggled to find an avenue to goal.
Well, Jolly, since that big lead, 1-8 to 5-7, it has been huge inaccuracy, really costing them, hasn't it?
Sure has.
He's a naturally gifted kick, Zach Tui, too. The Irish AFL players traditionally get a great handle on kicking the share, and he looked as relaxed and at home as you could, and he made no mistake. Zach Tui. That's got the Cats fans a little more excited. And some nervous tension around the stadium in the last 10 or so minutes, and a steadying goal from Zach Tui has made the Geelong faithful pretty happy.
And it was off the back of this play too. Sean Manor gets the ball out. Ollie Dempsey centres the ball, had a look inside, and a beautiful finish by Zach Tui. But we spoke about the Irish boys and their kicking ability. Well, they just don't learn bad habits. They come over, they learn the trait really late, but what they do, they make sure they don't waste a kicking opportunity or a kicking pass throughout the week.
First disposal for Sean Manor, first score involvement. He's been hoping this day would arrive for a long time, a lifetime in footy now, footy at the highest level. Clever from O'Connor, just worked it down the line, close to Myers. Myers low, who's on the end of it? A sliding Ollie Henry.
Leave it, guys. Leave it. It's fine. Thanks, mate. Right here, Sam. Thanks, Tom. Tom, please step out. Thank you, he's right on it.
Marcus, he's got to clear the protected area, okay?
Well, it was a long time between Drinks. Dempsey's goal late in the second, Tui's a minute or so ago. This somewhat against the flow. Minor score next to his name only. Fifth kick is wayward. That's too high.
Wait for the call, Tom.
Designated kicker Riley Bonner. Caresses that one out. Looking for Mitch Owens. Blitzarves very rarely gets beaten. Impressive Jai Clark sends it back inside 50. Sharman got underneath it. Bounced back into his lap, and that will be okay to Windhager. And now Hill. Just trying to get some speed on the ball here, the Saints. Jack Henry, brilliant. Not sure he can be that good and still underrated, Joel, but when he's fit, he makes the Geelong defence just stand so much taller than they normally do.
Yeah, he sure does, and it looks like that he's back into that form straight away off the back of a lean year with injury last year.
Only cobbled together 11 games last year, sorely missed.
Jack, 2 more metres, Jack.
Myers, big year also, third in the best and fairest. Pinpoint in the end, left behind by De Koning. Saints here have the numbers. Stocker in unbelievable pain. Meanwhile, Dangerfield has the ball in hand.
I don't know about you guys, but I actually thought it was going the other way.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be. I think this is the rule that needs to be generally looked at, Joel and Joe. The contact below the knees was brought in a number of years ago. We understand why, but what more can Liam Stocker do there apart from
you'll be able to step out.
attack the footy in that position?
He got hands on it first, wasn't he? First to the football? Or is that not how it's ruled?
That's nice, just up here.
Yeah, I mean, it just all goes so fast, but I don't think that's... Well, it's definitely probably not a free kick. The umpires, just like the players, sometimes make mistakes.
So the arm wrestle continues in Geelong. Dangerfield can make it a 14-point margin. Grabs a metre or two. It sails over wide again. So this inaccuracy continues. Will it come back to haunt them? Having said that, the Saints 6-12 themselves. The Cats, though, plenty of neat opportunities have sailed wide.
9.5 minutes remaining. Round one game, they all count for 4 points, but an early win just seems like that little bit extra. Stocker, you saw on the back of that interaction with Dangerfield. Can they work their way through? Cordy's scrubbering kick's going to be marked by the Cats again. It's Kolajasny. They're really piling the pressure on here, Geelong. Back inside 50 it goes again. Blitzar's out the back with a mark taken by Ollie Henry. It was just sheer weight of numbers. Eventually, it just gets too hard, Job, and the Cats are going to have another shot at goal.
It's been the tale all night, is that whichever team's been able to just create repeat forward 50 entries has been the one that's been able to score. Field position's been so important. And we just see here Geelong in the last 5 minutes just been able to control where the ball has been in their forward half, and again just off the back of creating a forward half turnover and a re-entry, another shot on goal.
41-20 last year, Ollie Henry. He's a dangerous player crossing over from Collingwood. He's dealing with some cramp at the moment, but he was determined to take the shot, and he loved it. Back-to-back goals for the Cats. Extends their lead out to 15 points.
Well, Ollie Henry is one of those players that doesn't need to touch the ball that many times to hurt you. He makes the most of this opportunity. Talk about taking the moment. He's done that there. He's given a kiss to someone up there.
22 outings last year. As Dar said, touch over 40 goals was a big return. It was a big return right then in terms of the context of the match. Back to 15 points. Blitzar's bullets out of the middle. Hawkins can get his first of the night and make it very difficult for St Kilda.
The importance of picking the moment at the right time. Geelong just couldn't been tougher in this last 5 minutes.
Hawk has one. Cats lead by 21. Things have changed pretty quickly. Not so long ago, the Saints had momentum and were back within a point. Tui, Henry, Hawkins. Three in a number of minutes after no goal at all in the third quarter.
Joel Selwood, I want to ask you about your original housemate, Tom Hawkins. You moved in together, you drafted the same year. Can you believe that he's still out there playing at the level he is right now?
Well, I can. What he's done, Darcy, he's always kept the fun in football. From the time that he walked in to the time that he's still playing. And the level that he's playing at, you know, it doesn't surprise me. He's out at every training session and still working on the craft around the blokes around him.
Incredible career that he's had, and he has done that so often for these great Geelong teams when a goal's been needed. Tom Hawkins has delivered. Let's get down to Aaron Phillips. Got a bit of a Liam Stocker update for us, Aaron.
Yeah, boys, he's been in a lot of pain since that big clash with Paddy Dangerfield, and he's doing everything he can to get back on the field, but I can't imagine Paddy Dangerfield's knees very soft, boys.
No, he was wincing on the ground and as he left the ground and still in the physio's hands. He's in serious discomfort. Got to get a goal out of this. Umpire Dave Roden says 1- score, back to 20. Still time on the clock, but the Cats have had a big 5 minutes.
Tom Stewart, disposal number 21, five-time All-Australian superstar of the game. Well done, Wilkie. Good battle with Jeremy Cameron, and doesn't lower his colours tonight or very often at all. Back in the Stewart direction is so good at making life hard for opposition teams. Ducote's popped that out of bounds on the full, so feel like they just got to dial up their risk appetite here a bit now, Joe, the Saints.
Yeah, just get the ball moving as quickly as they can, get it in through the corridor.
Henry was heading that way, and then he just ran out of tarmac and put it down the line. So Stanley was in the right spot again.
They're going to have to kick 4 goals. They're going to have to get the ball coming through the corridor as much as they can, or at least create really good forward half turnovers.
Jasny towards the pack that forms on the wing in front of us on the broadcast side. We're on Marshall.
High contact.
That one just roll over his head. Umpire saw it. Liam Henry.
End zone.
Disposable 19 in his first outing as a Saint. Mitch Owens can bring it back to 14 points.
Yeah, go through. Just leave it. Leave it. No. Stand up and clear out. The mark is here, Tom. Clear out.
Well, this is just a must. Goal kick coming up here from Mitch if the Saints are going to have any chance.
Play on.
Tom Stewart was onto it immediately, put pressure on. Owens was forced slightly wider. Little things.
It's a great call, Haim. Just that little bit of pressure to put him under, to make sure that it does go across the face. I love the last centre bounce, and what the sides do in that period is make sure their very best are in on the ball. On both sides, the attention to detail was just perfect.
Good mark taken by Cooper Sharman. He's got good hands at either end of the ground, and there's a real urgency. All of a sudden, the Saints have to find the next goal. Once again, that desperation to apply the smother, so impressive, and it's been rewarded. Mark O'Connor, and no surprise, his teammates come to offer high praise. Touched off the boot. Ball down to throwing.
Reece, St. Kilda Rock. St. Kilda Rock, Rowan.
Close to 40,000 here tonight with the Selwood stand working beautifully, and no one has left their chair. It's been a great contest. The first game of Manor. Look at the tricks that he's got and a bit of speed out of the contest. How exciting is that, Geelong fans? Close, crashing through Wilkie. Brilliant to Riley Bonner, who's been pretty solid tonight in his first game for the Saints.
Just for the record, 6th largest ever at the Cattery in terms of crowd, 39,352, biggest since Easter Monday, 81. So new stand is filled, and at the moment they'll be okay with the outcome. 19-point leaders, but through Darcy Wilson, the debutant, the Saints have got an opportunity. Flying was Liam Henry, leaving it behind. Higgins scooping it up. Can he kick a goal? Higgins, left foot, just will fall short. Sharman. If he's quick and swift, there'll be 4 to play in a 13-point margin.
10 metres is just 1 metre to your right. You've got to be right on the spot, Zach. 1 more metre. Thank you. Stand.
Takes his time. Needs to make a certainty of it.
Stand, Zach.
Straight through. Saints have got 7. Margin back to 13. Lee Matthews' minutes and goals, they've got 40 seconds up their sleeve.
Well, just creating opportunities. Jack Higgins in the right spot. Quick snap. Wasn't necessarily where he wanted it to go, but he's in the right spot. And Joel, a big centre bounce now.
Yeah, and it looks like that St Kilda got a bit of speed in there with Liam Henry. Geelong gone for their bulls that they started the game with in there.
Marshall crosses the line. They had the set play to Jack Steele, and it's worked beautifully down to the captain. Max King has drawn a free kick. So St Kilda refusing to give up.
Just Sam, it's here.
Coney not happy,
Back
but
with me, please. 1 more.
Max goes back and slots this. It is well and truly game on. Huge moment. Young superstar of the game, Max King. Can he deliver for his side? It looks pretty good. It's going to get there. The fist pump from Max King. And we are back to within a 7-point ball game. That is a huge moment. What you want from your young gun forward. Max King steps up to the plate and delivers. In 3 minutes is certainly a lot of time.
Well, Joel, this was the plan last time. What do the Cats or the Saints have to do in this centre bounce?
Well, the Saints probably still have to take a bit of a risk. It worked out last time, Jack Steele getting on the end of it. And that's what you want your game winners, just to take those opportunities.
Put your best players in where the contest is decided and be on the move, be active.
And these 50-50s for the rest of the game here is just so important. And there's going to be so many mistakes. The breakdown of it all is literally who can get on top in that side of the game will win the game.
Saints have got the last couple, back to 7 points. Seems fitting on a perfect night. We've got a grandstand finish inside the forward 50. Can the Cats manufacture something? Cameron charges at the football. Little dinky one over the top to Dangerfield. Left foot back inside towards the pocket. Hawkins, now this man, Manor, not quite off the right side of the boot, still in dangerous territory. Wanganeen-Milera exits the ball for how long? Couple of Cats are there. Stanley is one, gets it from Atkins. Stanley now, floating ball towards the arc. Saints in numbers, Battle had it and lost it. Steele, little give, back to Battle. Cordy floats it towards Burns.
Standing start torpedo from Zane Cordy, if you don't mind. The Saints, they are in full-on attack mode. They've got some good game awareness here. Stanley dropped the mark. He should have taken. Max King's on his own. Max King's going to get a chance to get the Saints within a point. Decides to play on. The hard runner, Henry, and he leaves it out the back for the debutant, Darcy Wilson. Who's got one, decides to play on and kick his second. 2 goals to Darcy Wilson. The Wilson family are going nuts. What a game this is. St.Kilda have picked themselves up, kicked the last 3 goals of the game. We're back to within a point. And how pumped are the Wangaratta crew?
Well, the Saints were just getting the ball in motion, getting it forward, and we just have a look at the top of the screen. We talked about them identifying the best runners in the draft. Well, Wilson's right at the top of the screen. He's run the whole distance of the ground, and that's that power running right at the end of the game to be able to finish with the goal.
3 goals from their last 3 entries inside 50. Suddenly things very desperate. Little chance for Myers. Tumbles it forward. Front spot Wilkie. Desperate Cameron. Little give to Duncan. In turn to Close. Scrambles it back to Cameron. Cameron finds Atkins. Moves it on quickly. It's Manor from heaven. Not quite. It was almost a chance for the debutant. And the Saints under pressure. Back to Dangerfield, knocked, and he'll kick from about 50. The pressure on the captain's shoulders. He'll absorb as much time as he can, but he needs to finish. Had a shot in this term, pushed it wide. Steely face. It's coming back. It's coming back, and it's through. The man for the moment.
Well, we talk about moments in footy. Max King's taken his, Wilson's taken his, Paddy Dangerfield step up to the plate, and bang. I think he wanted that one. He wanted to have his name all over that. He wasn't glowing the eyes at all.
Didn't overkick it either, Danger. He just took his time, and the Cats, with Ollie Dempsey taking the mark, have got this game under control. It's been a superb contest. The experience of Geelong just going to get them over the line as Stanley launches from behind. Manor, the first game a touch stopped the boot. He's a live wire. Rush through, it'll be a minor score. Cats extend their lead to 8 points in what has been a brilliant contest.
Siren sounds, and the Cats get their first win of the season. Just.
Selwood stand is in operation. Nearly 40,000 in the house, and a famous win for the Cats. Let's get down to Cameron Lane.
Well, Dars, I've got the young and the old boy here, but the old boy's still got a bit in his legs. Maxie, how was that kick?
That was incredible. I had the perfect view for it. We were sitting on the bench and we thought, oh, God, he's missed it. Everyone get back, everyone get back. And it just came back perfectly. Oh, we're in tethers.
Nothing like confidence from your teammates, Lingy. Maybe they were watching the warm-up.
It was incredible. It was awesome.
Never in doubt, mate?
Well, it went through, left to right. You know, it always swings back at the players then, Lingy, you know that.
It was an incredible finish. They did not stop coming at you, did they, the Saints? And a great first up game.
Yeah, and we looked at the pre-season form throughout. It's sort of GD up at St.Kilda, the way they were moving the ball, how fast they were off half-back. So we knew it was coming. It's another thing to trying to stop it, though, over a full-quarter period.
Maxie, you're incredibly fit, but even I could see there was cramp. Everyone was getting tired, warmer conditions. Just run out of legs a little bit at the end, the group, or was that just credit to the Saints?
I think there was a few of us cramping. I for one, was cramping. And, yeah, it was a hot night, but I think the Saints are, a great team. So, as Pat said, they move it very fast. So, credit to them. They came home hard, but, it's a good win.
Was it pretty fun playing in front of somewhere near 40,000 with the new stand?
Yeah, it's funny. Scotty mentioned pre-game that this is probably the biggest crowd that's been at Kardinia Park. And when you think about the history of the club, the city, the town, how long it's been around for, that's pretty spectacular. So it feels like it's finished now. You know, W is here, and the Cats are home.
The biggest crowd since 1981. A little fact for you there, Paddy. Aaron, thanks for your time, guys. Well done tonight. Aaron's with Tommy Stewart.
Thanks, Lee.